WJBW is made possible by sausage. Stick one in your mouth.
I hear a little bit of feedback in the mic.
These charges are not mine.
Today's episode of the JB Webb Show is sponsored by Ashtray.
Maybe embellishing.
All right, I'm walking down the street now. I'm walking live here on the street. I'm going to see who I can find.
I need to hear the tambourine.
Do you want me to do the JB Webb Show? Oh, I spit on you.
You are not part of the conversation.
Do you? Do you really?
Thank you for holding, JB.
I'm listening.
Thank you for holding, JB.
Definitely a day job I don't complain about.
Gotta find out what's going on, what you're doing, what you're intending to do.
Love Shack, baby!
Juggernaut of rock action.
My baby understands that cigarettes are dangerous. The child reads avidly, backwards, in every language.
WJBW.
The electronics are so predominant that people would really prefer that.
Do they really? Oh my God.
Do you really?
Do you really prefer it? I am JB Webb. Welcome back. It's a beautiful Thursday evening. I was so fortunate to get a message that said, hey, can you do the recorded call? I'm like, hell yeah, I could do it. It's the one and only Jim Colbert, a.k.a. Dirty Jim. So I was able to capture about a 25-minute great conversation with him. So we're going to roll into that. After that, we are going to play a couple of... should I play the songs first? No, I'll play the songs after. A couple of Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson songs we're going to play. And they deal with Dirty Jim. Oh, no. There's one about diabetes. And then there's another one that called Sad Christmas that really is way out of, you wouldn't even recognize it as Bubba. So we have a kind of a Monsters reunion, I guess. I don't know. It's not really that. But it is really WJBW, and it's WJBWnetworks.com. That's our primary flag. That's our premier site. That's our only damn site. No, we have blogs and stuff all set up all over the place, and social automation and robots. We got robots. We do a live broadcast every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock. It's supposed to end. It never hardly does. Sometimes it ends before that, but it starts at 7, ends at 9. I gave you that backwards so you would remember. Hey, Wamemba, Bubba Wattles. And Barbara Waters. So an exciting thing happened. I actually had communication with the agent people for John Waters. Now, December 8th, he's out there at the Plaza Live. Almost was able to snag a quick call with him, but that didn't happen. So I overshare. I'm oversharing. What are we going to do? Oh, yeah. So in between, after the songs, then from Bubba, then I'm going to break a little bit of news badly all up in you. And you can join. We're going to open up the phone lines around 9:30. So it's 407-379-9529. I am JB Webb at Radio JB Webb on the Twitter. On the Widow Tiny Bud over there. Segue tying into the Widow Talk. Okay. This is... Let me just go back and drink some wine. Listen to this great Local Legend Reconnect session. We were able to record. We actually just recorded it tonight. I talked with Dirty Jim, Jim Colbert, about his side effort he's doing. It's every Friday night on 104.1. And it is called Prime Kitchen. It's a badass concept, and it's a foodie show. Joe Esposito, I think, 40 years in the restaurant industry, and of course you have Mr. Steel Magnolias. No, Steely Blue Eyes. Steely Dan. Wait a second. You've got the one and only Dirty Jim, a.k.a. Jim Colbert, or the other way around. No, it's flip it, reverse it, smack it, flip it. All right. Do whatever you want with it. We thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you. You can chat. You can chat in the chat room with me if you like. I see you there. Hold on a second. Let me press a button. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's WJBWnetworks.com.
Most people have
Oh, what is up? JB Webb here. Had a great opportunity to do a Local Legend Reconnect, and that is exactly what I am doing. 2011, I think it was. We spoke with the one and only Dirty Jim of the Monsters in the Morning on 104.1 here in lovely Orlando. And he graced us with his presence back then, and he's agreed to do a little reconnect session. So besides the fact the Monsters are growing and doing better than ever, I think they're still number one, or they recently got number one again. They're always number one. Boy, the other guys must chap there. Anyway, I'll talk to myself about that later. I have on the line with me the very talented, the very affable, the very... what is a good way to say double edge? He's got a double edge. Watch out, his razor sharp wit has got a double edge. It is the one and only Dirty Jim, Jim Colbert, and welcome to the show, sir. How you doing?
Good talking to you again, buddy. How's things?
Oh, doing great, man. I really appreciate you making some time to chat with us once again. You've been a busy guy. I think it was 2011 when we first spoke, and I had mentioned a couple things. You were filling in a little bit for Jim Phillips here and there. I love your style. I love the synergy. Obviously, I think at that time Tom and Dan were still a part of the group. But, a lot's changed. It's been going on 5 years now. So you've got your own show, Primetime Kitchen, which is badass. It's something you're passionate and talented. It's about food, right?
I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, man. Well,
I'm starting to hear a little bit of that now. The thing is just starting to catch a little bit of fire, so it's kind of fun to hear people react to it. Thank you.
Well, you are welcome. I think the interesting thing is, it's the whole taboo subject of what are you doing talking about food when you can't see anything, So that's right. That's an inherent challenge, I'm sure. But I'm interested to hear how things have been going for you the last 4 years. I will say again, anytime you sit in for Jim Phillips, I'm there. I'm like laser focused no matter what I'm doing because you do a great job with that group. And then besides that, I think your role with the Monsters now is, you're definitely, and no offense to anybody, but I love when you host. I love to hear you host.
Thanks, man. You know what? Look, I appreciate both those. To be quite honest with you, I used to hate to host. Okay. I really did. I loathed it. I couldn't stand when Russ would take a vacation or whatever because I just really, honestly, that wasn't where my focus was. But as I kind of grew and I understood the value of having just having control of the opinion at one level, I did start kind of falling in love with that. And then thank you, by the way, for the compliment regarding the Phillips file. I'll assure you, most of that is the team, but it is just they're a joy to work with. And and to be honest with you, if it was an adversarial scenario and I walked in and it wasn't like everybody didn't want to see me there, I was just kind of doing the thing, it would be one thing. But we've all known each other quite a while, so the opportunity to work together when usually it's a passing hey in the hallway or maybe some time at the Christmas party or whatever, it really does kind of allow you to know them better. And of course, Jack Bradshaw is one of my best friends in the world, so it just really is. I enjoy all of the company, and it's really it's. To be honest with you, it's like when the substitute comes to town for me, but the other way around. No.
See, and that's exactly where I was going with it because it's you can't. How do you replace Jim Phillips? You can't ever do that. But with you, it's like oh my God, the hand fits exactly in the glove. Are these my gloves? So
man, it is. Honestly, and a big thanks. How the whole thing came about was. Our former program director, one of the sweetest people in the world, Catherine Brown, they were kind of lamenting in the hallway about taking time off. And, of course, Jim wants to travel and do his thing. He's been in the business for quite a while. He's earned the right to go out and enjoy his, kind of the spoils of his time and energy he's put into providing Orlando with, a good voice, for the city, I believe, always pretty much on the positive side of everything, for things that are better for the city. And, just be able to step in there and even just kind of be a part of that aura, even when he's not there, is just kind of overwhelming at times. To be dead honest with you, it's even to this day I get nervous after doing it. I guess probably over 100 times now. Really? Whatever, I still get nervous.
You still because it is big damn shoes to fill. But like I said, kudos to you because your hand fits right in that glove. If you were O.J. Simpson, you'd be in jail. I think. because the glove fits.
I kind of appreciate that. I don't know why.
I don't know why I just said that. Okay. No, but let's move away from that. Now, you started 4 years ago. We spoke with you, and now we're coming into a time where I want to talk a little about your Primetime Kitchen project. I love it. I think because I love food and I love to cook. So when I hear people, and people that I respect, and you've got great tips on there. And now Joe Esposito. Now I wasn't very familiar. Now I think he used to come in from time to time to the Monsters and bring food from Buca di Beppo. Is that right? Buca di Beppo.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's the GM of Buca di Beppo for quite a while. I think 7 years with them. They just kind of parted ways. Amicable, no big deal. Happens all the time in that business. And Joe kind of came up with the idea of because we'd become friends. My daughter works there. I had worked there with Joe before he kind of parted ways with those guys. So we had and in the green room when he would bring food, we just had these great conversations about the whole idea of eating and whether it be from your 5-star or your 2-star Michelin down to your local diner, there's always something to enjoy. And to be honest with you, food has an odd way, regardless of its price, of satisfying the same exact need or want. Whether one remind you of your childhood or the other one just a perfectly made dish. I mean, it all has value, and Joe and I feel equally about that. So although we're not, I think Joe is way more a pro than I am. I'm just an enthusiast at best, to be honest with you. But I do love it, and it is fun. And the platform that I'm allowed because of my tenure at Real Radio allowed me to kind of do something cool. And it really is just starting to kind of take root. We'll take, just like the guy we had on last week, or I can't say that. Let's just say the guy that we're going to have on this week, Friday, tomorrow, is, it's just the coolest thing, getting off the grocery grid. In other words, can you become self-sufficient as a legit provider of vegetables and maybe some meat to your family without depending on grocery stores and getting away from pesticides and hormonal induced foods. And it's a really unique point of view.
Well, and I love that too, because you think about it, I like to watch these old, stuff back in time, like HBO, John Adams, and I was observing there, and they had the whole garden, they had the whole herbs, they had the chickens, the cows, and when you think about it, if you just got 2 or 3 chickens and you just, you eat the eggs or what have you, let's say you're not a vegetarian, and you could grow the vegetables and eat the eggs, and it's a brilliant concept that nature just does it all for you, and you just have to tend it, you just have to tend to it. So I love that. So that's tomorrow night. That's Friday night. Okay.
I will tell you what's funny thing is when I plugged it on last week's show, and it just so happens that following, I record the show on Wednesdays, and that following Thursday was my poker tournament. But it aired the week before. We were plugging the gentleman that I was just talking about. Man, I had a dealer come up, 26 years old, like hipster beard guy, and he's like, "Yeah, me and my wife want to kind of become more self-sufficient. We want to grow our own herbs and vegetables and possibly have some chickens and maybe a goat. Who knows? It was just kind of amazing how they were looking at it, and it's just an interesting lifestyle choice, and I don't know why. It's just kind of cool.
Well, that's and goats put off great, goat milk apparently. And what else do they do? They have no?
Well,
those
they
are
provide.
sheep.
Let me tell you what they do. They provide assloads of entertainment. That's what they do.
They eat cans.
Because goats are the funniest animals in the world. Just looking at them is funny. I don't know why. It's
I
true.
totally agree.
My wife will lie in bed, and we'll lay in bed, and we'll watch these stupid goats that just get super pissed off at villagers and just start straight up bullying them. And it's just the funniest thing in the world. And here's the thing that's the funny. Goats, there's no, hey, I shouldn't hit this old lady. The goat will headbutt the old lady in the ass and then turn around and do the same thing to a child.
Yes.
It doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
It is just a headbutting machine, man. It doesn't know. Super funny, man. I laughed my balls off.
That is funny. That's a funny to even contemplate. Like the goat has no discretion. You have no pass. There's no pass.
It is utterly indiscriminate when it comes to the headbutting.
Yeah. You're getting it.
Oh yeah. Crippled. It does not care. It'll headbutt your cane.
Yeah. So that's a little bit more of a dangerous investment, I guess. A goat, but
yeah, we're not going to do that.
Chickens are pretty safe.
We'll stay away from the goats. Maybe
yeah. You'll be careful with the goats.
It's cute.
The calf, the baby veal. No, we don't want to go there. So,
but the show is a really cool concept. To get back to that, sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to digress, but
No,
to get back to it,
it was a
Joe's
good-
a great pro. I'm an enthusiast. I do radio. He's done restaurants. Thought it would work, and starting to kind of take off.
So it's picking up. Do you guys do? So it sounds like you record and then air and then publish. You want to control that?
We
control
air it
that
after-
aspect.
We do that because here's the thing. I spend enough time up there.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't want to do the show live on Friday nights.
Yeah.
It is simply selfish. I'll be the first one to. Matter of fact, I told him one of the concessions to get me to be part of the project initially is that we pre-record it because I'm just simply not doing a live show and have to be dependent to be on there between 7 and 8 on Friday nights. I just can't, or
Right.
8 and 9 on Friday nights. I'm not doing it.
That jacks up your whole mojo of the. What do you guys get? Start the show at 6 every day. I think is. So
Yeah,
so
6 in
that's
the morning.
That's a big commitment.
I'm up at 4:45. And then I think I'd wind up looking at it as a job then, and I actually enjoy doing it now. And I don't ever want it to be one of those things where, like, Jesus, I got to go do this stupid food show.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dirty Jim, man, when I think about you again, and I recently started working where I used to live some years ago. So let's say over 10 years ago. So now I'm driving around these old places, kind of where I used to live, where I used to listen to Monsters in the Morning in my car. And I remember this one point, I'm pulling out of the Walmart there in Altamont Springs, and I hear you getting so upset. And Russ and Bo, I think at the time, were making you so upset. But I said, this guy, his entertainment. You remember how your demeanor on the show has definitely changed. You've become way more less agitatable. What is that? I think I'm using that wrong.
Skating term here. I'm considerably less aggro.
There you go. That's better. Yes, that's safer. Way less because it was like a hair trigger thing, but it added so much great content. Your passion. Do you see what I'm saying? I think at the rudimentary levels that help like lay your foundation of the person you are now. I
turned that. Well, the way I look at it, Jay, honestly, is I thought it took a lot of energy to be that angry. It took a toll on me, to be dead honest with you, because I was pretty angry. And there's a lot of things there are a lot of reasons. And I said, at some point I was just like, Jesus, I got to do something. And so I just focused that into just seething, hateful sarcasm. Just festering, blistering, just oozing pus, just deadly, brutally honest sarcasm.
Yes. Cutting, biting, jagged.
Oh, so lethal, the person it's aimed at usually doesn't even know it's actually directed toward them.
Right. Like, I think you may have just cut me down.
So
I didn't realize.
Nobody could ever assume somebody would say that something that bad about them in front of them.
Right. Right. Like, you have to be talking about somebody else.
Yeah, there's no way you could be saying that about, and that's what makes it so great and fun for me. And the cool thing is nobody gets hurt because the guy's not smart enough to get it.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So we're speaking with the one and only Dirty Jim. He has started a new venture with iHeartMedia out there, and it's called Primetime Kitchen. It's a badass show. I suggest you go check that thing out because if you love food, if you're a foodie, this is the answer. I mean, there's not a lot of, especially locally, a locally grown food radio show. Is that the right way to say it?
And it's only going to get better because you know what? To be honest with you, what we want to do is we want to take it to 2 hours. And really, the deal we made initially for the 1 hour was like, let's get it going, let's get some advertisers, let's show people that we can make a return for them because this is a money-based business. You do the money first, the fun second.
Yeah, welcome to America.
Then you can do whatever you want.
Right.
So. We were just basically going to go in there and do that. And, I mean, I think this is going to turn into something kind of cool. The cool thing about working for a gigantic company, although iHeart has taken its ass kicking, Clear Channel in the day, iHeart's doing great.
Right.
But Clear Channel, went through a period of time where they did not have the best reputation. It was just a very weird time. Bob Pittman came in. And, by the way, the guy is a monster CEO, just for the record. I mean, I am a brutally honest guy. If you look for any of my company reviews, the stuff I wrote to them about certain things about the company, most people would be like, God, I don't know if I should write that. It's just the truth. But this guy really has turned the company around, and I'm actually pretty proud to work for him. I think they're a good company, and these guys have a great network. So if something special happens with this show, and we don't localize it too much or generalize it too much,
right,
and kind of if we can find a way to ride that balance. I mean, there's a possibility of shipping this thing. Just so
Exactly.
you guys know out there, radio stations need content, and they're looking for content at the least possible impact to their bottom line as quickly as possible. And that's why you see, if you pay attention to what's happening on the dial now, that paid programming idea is starting to come back around because the idea of it is still good. The machine is kind of not as machiney anymore.
Well, and that's even, to your point with a lot of the podcasts and things coming up now, kind of acquiescing to, hey, if we put a little chunk of this on the radio, it pays for itself. We've got it. It's paid for and then some, because the benefits are reaching so many more people that don't understand downloading episode of your show. How do I press this button?
Right. And to be honest with you, what we do, seriously, Jay, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
The Primetime Kitchen Show is basically an aired podcast because we do record it. It isn't live. We do not take phone calls. We are working on our email communications and our Facebook communications right now.
So people can message in.
Because the show airs once a week, there's a delayed response to, who listens to it,
Sure. And I guess it has more of a kind of a cumulative effect, if you will, when you do something like that, because it gives people in this on-demand world a little bit of time to listen to it at their own pace, as it were.
It does. The only advantage, I guess if there's any at all, we actually like the Friday night spot at 8:00 because we think, well, a lot of people going out for late dinner, maybe leaving dinner and headed to the movie or the club, may just have their dial still on 104.1 from listening to Jim and catch a little bit of it. And that's, and believe it or not, that's how fickle fishing for an audience in my business can be at times. You are really programming for just somebody to catch a glimpse, just 30 seconds of something they think is funny. And what's funny is you dismiss it until you think back about how you started listening to radio. And you're like, Jesus, that's exactly how it happened.
Right.
That's exactly how I started listening to that show. I heard 30 seconds of it, thought one guy had a great one-liner, and I haven't not listened since.
Right, yeah. You get kind of hooked on the flavor of the show, and you're like, okay, this is something. And that actually takes talent. Does who I always really like was Dan Stone. Does he still works with your group, right?
Yeah, he works up in Chicago, and obviously does voice work for us to this day.
Yeah, that guy's great. But I think that, when you talk about, where did Meat of the Week come from? That kind of, so maybe it was Meat of the Week kind of the genesis of this show, perhaps, or was it your continued kind of, passion for cooking? I mean,
Well, obviously the Meat of the Week, I tell you what happened, buddy. This is the Meat of the Week thing. I can't explain it. I mean, it did very, very well. To be honest with you, I didn't even put a tenth of the time into that thing. I probably should have, but to be honest with you, there are certain things I like to be fun in my life, and there are certain things I want to make money with in my life. And the great thing about it is I get to choose now. And that's just something I wanted to always remain organic to me. I did want it to be fun. I did want it to be great. I wanted to help the store because they're great. But that experience did lead into me wanting to kind of maybe turn my passion for cooking and broadcasting into a possible way to make a few dollars and maybe make a show that I could be proud of. Not saying I'm not proud of anything I've done, but, just kind of something that I created and focused on something I like to do, to be completely selfish,
Holla at you.
Totally. I totally understand. No, you've got to have your own thing, AKA endorsement myself. I totally agree with that. Yeah. So at any point, okay, so that's interesting to hear that little facet of it. So Friday night, 8:00, 104.1. Do you guys plan to do anything, having maybe Emerald Lagasse, you shooting, what are you shooting for with the show? Do you want to involve some, you're going to have, who's the guy who, Scott Joseph? Wait, am I mixing it up? Hold on. Yes. It's one of those two.
Well, it's now it would be Heather McPherson.
Oh, okay. So
she's a food critic for the Sentinel. I do have a relationship with Heather. She's a great girl and is a fan of our show, believe it or not.
Yes.
She's been a judge at one of the chili contests that I enter at the beginning of the year and stuff. She's kind of one of those always there judges, and she's an awesome chick. She really is. Her husband's actually cool as hell too.
So she's kind of taken over
like
that mantle. I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, but real quick, just to get to your question, people like that are great. The cool thing about the show is we can get a digital recorder and 2 mics from engineering and take that damn thing anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I'm doing 11-minute segments, man. I'm doing 2 11-minute segments and a 13-minute segment, and that's pretty much my show. So if I go to a cooking symposium and I can wander up on one of these chefs and get a couple questions from them and then do it again and again, we just break it up into segments and play the entire thing. So that the question is, the show can be and do anything it wants. We actually plan on doing some stuff with Periscope soon as well.
Okay. So are you going to do any cooking?
Yes, that's what we're going to do.
You are? Are you serious? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna promote a Periscope or a scope in, and Joe and I are kind of do it. I'm going to have mine recording him, and then we'll switch it over, and I'll do a part, and we'll switch it over. We want it to be kind of fun and single-handed. We want him to be able to see the screen so he can answer questions and me the same way. And we're going to prepare a dish that we can do in a few minutes.
That's pretty cool. I like that aspect of it.
And hammer wine,
Yeah, exactly. Are you having some wine this evening, sir?
I'm actually having beer tonight, a white IPA from the New Belgium company.
Did you? Accumulation. Did you see any news story about? You could probably tell me best if it's a hoax. IPA beers giving men beer breasts. Have you ever heard of that?
Well, I haven't heard that, but I do have big old
got some
fat
plumpers.
bitties.
Okay, you got some plumpers going. It might be the IPA.
I do, and
it might be the IPA.
I do occasionally. My T-shirts have these 2 brown spots, and it's basically tit sweat, and
right.
But I don't know if it's from IPA or just me being a fat ass hog who's addicted to red meat.
Well, look at Google that.
Google that right now.
Google that if you want to.
I'll assure you one thing. I will not be Googling that.
Okay, all right. Don't Google that then.
Here's the thing. I'm going to let my boobs be a mystery to me. How's that?
Yeah. It's just going into all the categories of things you're just letting go. Are you letting it go? You're looking well lately, though, I will say. I think I listened this morning, and who was in there? Black comedian D.L. Hughley. It was Steve Wilson, D.L. Hughley's partner at one of the radio stations up north, and stand-up. He's been in one for years. Oh, it was. Okay, so the connection was not. It was not him. Okay, so I got that. Anyway, yeah,
He works with DL.
I got to pretend I'm working during the day. So, at any rate, okay. So that was. I thought that was real. I thought that was real interesting. Session with him, and I forget exactly why.
He's a funny guy, man.
I forget exactly why I was going there. But anyway, listen, I don't want to gobble up all the evening here. I really appreciate the fact that you reconnected with us. We've been doing the Local Legend reconnects with it. Okay, turn that shit off, man. What are you doing? We've been doing the Local Legend reconnects with everybody that we interviewed over the years, over the past 5 years or so, and it's awesome to see where you're at because you've come a long way since then. I will say with your own show and Primetime Kitchen. You said Friday night, 8:00. Every 104.1 if you're in the Orlando area, streaming live everywhere on iHeartMedia or iHeartRadio.
Yeah, and you can get us on Facebook at Primetime Kitchen, and on Twitter it's Prime Kitchen JJ.
Primetime Kitchen. Just Google that.
Google that right now.
Yeah, just Google that. We are speaking with Dirty Jim, Jim Colbert. Do you go by? Do you drop the dirty on the show? More just Jim?
Yeah, I just go by Jim. I go by Jim Colbert on the show. Yeah,
and you damn well should.
The introduction is basically it's a show about living, loving, and learning about all things delicious. I'm Jim Colbert, and he says I'm Joe Esposito, and then we get going.
Yep, badass. Well, I think you're fantastic, man. I appreciate all of the time that you've donated to our humble little effort, and again, you do keep rocking. Are you still running for mayor in 2018 or 2020? You still doing the mayor? Going?
I keep shaking that closet, but those skeletons keep coming, buddy. I think the mayorship is safe.
It's out. Too many skeletons.
I think there's too many, buddy.
Buddy Dyer's gloves don't fit you. Okay.
Yeah,
those
I
gloves
think he's
don't fit.
perfectly safe. His smile is just way too magnetic. I think
That
he's
guy's
good.
fantastic. Yeah, he's a great. I mean, for Orlando, that's the greatest mayor we could have, I think.
I will tell you something. When you meet him, it's impossible not to like him. He was
Yeah.
just in the studio the other day, and I mean, Buddy is a consummate politician. He's very good at it.
Very affable. Well, again, kudos to you. One could definitely say the same about you over 23 years doing your craft of radio. It's the one and only Dirty Jim from Monsters in the Morning and from Primetime Kitchen and from the best sub in the world for Jim Phillips on the Phillips File. And what else? What else can I throw out there? Anyway, man.
Overly flattering, buddy. Thank you for your time.
As always, man, we appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
And thanks again for hanging with us. I am JB Webb. We'll be right back, or will I? Oh, no, I'm doing a recorded interview. I haven't done this in so long. We usually do live stuff, so hold on. All right.
WJBW, 7 o'clock Tuesday nights on Spreaker. Google it.
With the way things are in the world, why keep investing in gold and silver and things that can eventually corrode away? Negative bonds. Negative bonds are the newest way to invest. People will always have negative bonds. Susie hates Johnny. Johnny hates Susie. They talk about it to their friends. Your negative bond accrues interest, and all of a sudden you're a rich millionaire who could care less about people, and then negative bond about poor people without bonds, which increases your negative bonds. So invest in negative bonds today. Negative bonds is not a subsidiary of the New York Stock Exchange or any real exchange, so be careful when you invest.
Hey, JB Webb back with you. I have my buddy BC Lee on the phone. How you doing, bud?
What's going on, Bubba?
How you doing? Good?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for calling in. Listen, we're going to play. You heard the Dirty Jim section there, right? Okay. We're going to play a couple of songs from our mutual buddy there, Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson, that are that are specific to Dirty Jim. And and then we're going to come back and we're going to break a little news badly. You're going to be telephone correspondent, right? You're going to join me.
Yes, I will.
Okay, there you go. All right, that's all I was looking for. So hang tight. We'll be right back with some breaking news badly with Mr. BC Lee and JB Webb here in studio. Enjoy a couple of tracks here from Mr. Whoop-Ass Wilson, Mr. Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson, Skeeter Down Easter, and this first one we're going to start with called Fear Me. I'm JB Webb. You're listening to WJBW, the JB Webb Show. We thank you for doing that, and hang tight.
Raising children is a father's task, but you can't really do it unless you're a jackass. You can cuss and punch them and whip their little ass, but it's best if you use an itty-bitty dash of fear. Fear. I am the overlord here. Overlord. You can hide in your room and cry to your ma, and I'll chop your door down with a chainsaw.
I'll chop it down. I'm not your friend.
My father was on a mission to beat my ass completely into submission. I take this lesson and I pass it on down, and I rule my house with a giant gold crown and fear. Fear. I am the overlord here.
Overlord here.
You can cry in your room and run to your mom, and I'll flush your hamster down the John. Wow. You paint rainbows on the walls of your room. I'll replace them with the prophet of doom. It's a big giant mural of my ugly face, just to make sure that your morals are in place.
Are your morals in place? Are they? Can't be your friend. Can't be your friend.
Time out. doesn't do a thing. It all comes down to the parenting. I'll pound some respect into their piggy little head and leave them shaking and crying under their beds from fear.
Fear!
Fear! I am the overlord here, and they'll grow up like me and learn to stand tall and be kind of mean, mildly funny, and bald.
Mildly
funny. Was on a Sunday the storm she blew in. Down on the skater down Easter was old Captain Jim. Rain stung his eyes as he cursed at the skies. The Gerber patch whipped in the wind. Handsome was he in his rugged old boat, jumping the ripples 6 inches high. His single malt spilling all over his chillin', a blonde cag hair stuck in his eye. Aye, the skeeter down Easter, she's towing to safety a big X on board. Aye, brave Captain Jimmy just tips his hat to the sailors and says, "No charge." A seaman for life like his father before, but soon he won't have the skeeter down Easter no more. By direct Marines, got a bad check, it seems. The repo man's a-knocking on the old captain's door. Then I came the sad day for old Captain Jimmy. He made all his rounds, 'twas nobody to save. And there at the dock was his ex-wife and a cop to take the skeeter down Easter away. Bye, skeeter down Easter, you're going to the auction for sure. Cry, did old Captain Jimmy, for the Gerber patch will fly no more. Oh, aye, the skeeter down Easter is towing to safety a big X on barge. Aye, brave Captain Jimmy tips his hat to the sailors and just says no charge.
Award-winning Bubbaloo's Bodacious Barbecue, Orlando's favorite since 1986. Bubbaloo's Bodacious Barbecue has been recognized by USA Today, the New York Times, and the Food Network. Bubbaloo's Bodacious Barbecue. Get some of this stuff in your face.
Bubbaloo's Bodacious Barbecue is delicious.
WJBW Orlando, the very first quasi-radio web show. Hey, JB Webb back with you. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing good, and I know good or bad. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, right, today? A lot of crazy stuff. So, hey, I want to mention Bubbaloo's.com, upcoming Orlando Sentinel voting block. So go eat at Bubbaloo's. I suggest the Lee Road location. That's the one they started up in 1986. So next year, if you know how to use math, that's 30 years, one location in Orlando. They have won so many awards, and we want them to win the Orlando Sentinel Best of Barbecue Award. So go there, eat their food, go anywhere else, eat their food, and then vote sincerely. So I sincerely suggest that you will be able to detect the authenticity in the Bubbaloo's ingredients and recipes. So go check that out. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. We appreciate everything that you throw our way. Interview requests, WJBWnetworks.com. You can go on there, fill out a little form, talk to us about what you want to talk to us about. Is that right? I think it's right. Anyway, good buddy, friend of the show, also equally out there pumping and producing. It's BC Lee on the line. Welcome, good sir. How you doing?
Well, what's going on, JB?
Hey, buddy. Thanks for doing this with me. We're gonna break some news badly. Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready and willing. I'm so ready. It's not even funny.
And now,
and maybe a little funny.
Breaking news badly.
So here we go. Bring up our stories here today. We've got several different things that we're gonna go over here. Have you heard? All right, so you give your input now, BC. I want to give you some autonomy there. That if you have some news story, let me drop a couple stories on you, and then if you have one, feel free to let us know. Okay.
Okay. I will.
All right. So that's good. And then of course the rules of the rules of the game are pretty simple. You know, say whatever the fuck you want. That's pretty much how it goes. First story is from ScienceAlert.com. World's largest cloning factory in China set to produce cattle, racehorses, and sniffer dogs. So this article goes on to tell us more about the very first. First, I don't know. It's the world's largest cloning factory. Do you have any feedback on that? What are your thoughts on there?
Well, we at least now know where all the smog's coming from over in China. So.
Oh, from the clones. Attack of the smog. Attack of the smog.
Yeah, it could be anything. I don't know about that cloning stuff. I mean, everybody. It seems like everybody and their brother and scientists wants to clone something.
Okay.
Why can't they just leave well enough alone? You know.
I'm gonna clone myself and go to work. Remember the damn movie Multiple Me? Or no, that was something else. What was it? Duplicity. It had. The actor that played Batman originally, Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah, that
Duplicity.
was I know
Duplicity.
what you're talking about. That movie was back in like the late 80s.
He
early 90s,
cloned himself. Remember that? Yeah. Anyway, So there you go. Antiquated movie reference. Checkbox checked. There is a video I pulled up here about this doctor who can calm a crying baby every time.
And he just got a shot here. So this is Ashton, and here's what we do. So we pick up Ashton. I fold his right arm like this, and then his left arm in front.
So basically like a sarcophagus.
Hold his arms like this. Hold his little bottom.
Yeah, they talked about that on the news the other day. I've seen that. It almost looks like the baby's scared to death when the guy's holding him.
But he's shaking the little.
That's probably why they're not.
He's shaking the baby's butt.
I know. That's probably why they're not crying, because they're scared shitless.
Yeah, he's like, why the hell is my ass shaking? That's what I thought.
I know, right?
I was like, what are you doing?
But
anyway.
I think what it is the reason that the child doesn't scream or squawk or holler is because the way he's holding them probably depicts the fact that the baby is still inside the mom's womb.
Right,
and that's probably what
replicates.
calms them down.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. I'll say that's a good call because I agree with that. He's kind of replicating the whole, hey, I'm in a sack what is it called? What's the sac called? Embryonic.
It's the embryonic sac.
Embryonic.
Yep.
Oh, embryonic sac. All right, that's fresh breaking news badly. Keeping up with the trend of doing that. Here's one from OrlandoWeekly.com. Tool and Primus coming to Orlando this January. What are you a fan of any of those bands? Tool.
No, I've probably never heard of them before.
You never heard of Tool?
Sure I'm a fan of all kinds of music.
What the hell?
I've never heard of them.
Okay. All right. Well, you never heard of Tool. How about Primus? Remember Jared?
No. No. I've heard of Tool, but the other band, no, I've never heard of.
Oh, okay. Well, Primus, Jared was a race car driver. Jared was a race car driver. That was one of their songs. Anyway, so I thought that was badass. And a lot of great acts are now coming to Orlando. And do you think Dr. Phillips, the whole Dr. Phillips Center that they've kind of have right there in the center of downtown is a big draw for that? We have a performing arts center right in the middle of downtown.
I think it kind of is a little bit, because if you have these smaller, you got these venues. What it is you got groups that come in and they want to play in Orlando, but they don't want to play in big places like the Amway Center, because they may not have that much. They might not have that much of a fan base, or may not draw that much people. So the Dr. Phillips Center is another option that they can go to where it would seat a couple thousand instead of a couple 100,000 like the Amway Center would.
Do you know Orlando well enough to know where the other, I think it was more of a school, Dr. Phillips Center, corner of like Orange and Roslyn?
It was at Orange and Roslyn.
Yeah,
it wasn't nowhere near the size of what the new one is.
No, I drive by that every day, right? And it's like, I look at that thing and I'm like, man, that thing is just getting more and more dilapidated as time goes on. And what a shame that is. I mean, maybe there's some way they could open that up for like artists, in my vision for that. Remember the movie Fame, or the show Fame? That's kind of, I don't know. I just let talented artists go in there and film them, and then maybe you got a reality show. I don't know. Anyway,
or even open it up for free to all the artists that want to come in and promote their music or promote their dance or whatever they want to do, and then that way maybe have like a tip jar or something for the artists to where they can make a little bit of money if they want or whatnot. But give it back to the community. You know, if they're not going to use it, or if it's
let
really
it be like a farm league.
Give it back to the community.
Yeah, let it be kind of like a farm league for the arts. Art farm league.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. All right, cool. Well, good. So, do you do UFC? You know anything about UFC?
UFC fighting. I got mixed feelings about it, because like my dad and me, we used to sit and watch real boxing back when Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali fought, and Joe Frazier and all them guys. I think it's kind of taken away from real boxing. That's my opinion, but UFC fighting is okay. It just depends on what people like. Me personally, I'd rather see old boxing. Just
school.
Like Rocky Balboa. They got the new movie coming out, Creed, here this month.
Yeah, that looks cool.
That's supposed to be good.
So UFC Conor McGregor outright calls out Trump. Donald Trump can shut his big mouth. Okay, so this is a quote. This is from Rolling Stone, rollingstone.com, and it's a good little article and read, and it's kind of a jib jab. But with the old Trumpy's like extorting. Is that what that's called? Extort. He's holding for ransom his. Don't fucking show up, right? It might be a better debate if he's not there. I mean, if he's not there, I don't know. I don't know what you. My opinion on him is he's just. He seems like such. Like he's got the mentality of a teenager. I don't know. That's.
Well, if
what it seems like to me.
If you got an hour, we can talk about it. But here's my opinion on Trump. Donald Trump is the type of guy, everybody thinks that he's out to be a superstar and he just wants fame and fortune like you don't already have it. He wants to be out there. He wants his name out there. It's not about all that. I honestly believe that this country needs the type of ideas that he's actually talking about.
See,
because of the fact that the situation that we're in now with the U.S. and what's going on in the U.S., he may not necessarily be the right person, but his ideas and his thoughts are. And that's what and he's the only one that's got balls enough to stand up in front of everybody and say it and actually talk about doing it, because all these other candidates, I mean, you look at, granted Bush, I like Bush because he was our governor. I think he was a great governor. And then Carlson, he's okay, but he's too laid back. He's a thinker. He's more of a thinker than anything.
Right.
We need somebody that's going to act and do it right off the bat and not hesitate about it. That's what we need right now as a president. We need somebody that can run the country and not sit back and watch everything happen.
All right. But do you think, is America a business?
I think it has gotten that way. In
or
the last 10 to
15
years, yes. I think
America,
I believe it has become a business.
Is America a country? Do you see what I'm saying? Is it a business or a country? That's the question this year.
Well, I know what you're saying. It is a country, but it's still, right now, it's being run like a business. And it should be run like a business. And the person to run it would be Trump, because he is a businessman.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what I feel.
I've got my own ideas about that. I think he's got too many issues. You know, to me, I can honestly tell you, he does those Miss Universe pageants, and in his mind, I think in his mind, he thinks this whole election thing is like a pageant. Okay, that's what I think. So
he probably does. But
there you go. There you go.
I still think he's got the right attitude and he's got the right ideas. That's the only thing. But the only problem is none of the other candidates want to pick up any of his ideas.
Yeah, it all sounds good.
They haven't once talked about hardly anything. It's the same for the other politicians. The same old damn song and dance they do every 4 years when they run for president or when they put their name in the pot to run for president. Donald Trump has come up with something different, something new, and everybody's not used to it, so they're going to talk bad about him. They're going to try to say, oh, he can't do this, and he's doing that, and yada, yada, yada. He's the oddball out, but he's also the right person that's talking the right stuff that we need to hear. That's the thing.
Or he knows what to do to get a reaction, right? Like a Miss Universe pageant. Okay. All right. Well, hold on. Hold that thought. I got a WFTV. WFTV.com here has an article. I don't know if you saw this or not. It's pretty skeevy. Deputies say a Florida couple stole $5 from an 11-year-old girl. Have you heard this story?
No, I haven't heard that one.
The Palm Beach Post. A man and his girlfriend were accused of stealing $5 from an 11-year-old girl who was walking home from a Dollar General store in Brooksville, Florida. So despicable developments on that front over there. Would you agree?
I think it's kind of me personally. I think the media blows a lot of this stuff out of proportion. I think the media causes a lot of turmoil amongst people. I think they kind of overdo their news when they report on stuff.
Okay.
You know, it could have been one. You don't really know the whole story. You just know what they're telling you.
Am I?
Why would?
Then perhaps there is someone out there that is the king of all anti-media, and I proclaim that as me. I'm going to take that title. Thank you. You're
okay.
Fucking idiot, dude. You're so narcissistic. You fucking idiot. All right, Shocky. Nobody needs the input there. If you're going to put something in, put it in good. All right, buddy. WashingtonPost.com has an article entitled "Scientists Just Caught a Black Hole Swallowing a Star and Burping a bit back out. What do you think of that? Stop swallowing. So it's a black hole, a burping black hole.
Let me tell you something. I think it's all fine and dandy that we're studying the stars and people want to go to space and stuff like that, but when you got somebody sitting there staring at the stars and trying to figure out what a black hole's doing, whether it's farting or burping up a star, has got too much time on his hands, and he should be thinking of something else to help our planet.
Uh-huh. You there? Hold on. Are you there? Are you there? Hold on, buddy. Hold on. All right, hold on. There we go. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. All right, sorry. Can you hear me? Hello. There he is. All right, there he is. There I am. Okay, so sorry. I hit the old mute button there. I apologize. You still there?
Hey, I'm here. Jim, I figured you'd learn how to run that shit by now.
No, I blame the wine. I'm blaming the wine. So I apologize there. I got you cut off a little
that's
bit,
all right.
So
did you hear my whole philosophy about the stargazing thing?
Totally missed it. Give it to us again.
My opinion is on the stargazing, if you got some guys out there that's got time on their hands to look at the stars and figure out why a black hole done shit out a star back and forth, they got too much time on their hands when they should be thinking about ways to help our planet instead of worrying about another star. Well, fart, whatever, same thing. You know, they should be worrying about us right now because the planet as a whole is actually falling apart. They need to figure out how to help us here instead of worrying about people making spaceships that charge $20 million a person just to take a ride into the upper atmosphere to go on a spaceship. You know, that's ridiculous. I mean, come on, people.
There you go. There you go. Good feedback. Good feedback on that. So,
that's just my opinion.
Let's see here. althealthworks.com. Wow, if I can talk, it'll be good. I can finish this. Hold on. althealthworks.com. There you go. This extract of the magnolia tree is just as good as Valium and Xanax without the side effects. So there's a quick article here. The side effects of anti-anxiety drugs are notoriously bad, but could there be a better way? One study shows that the extract of a well-known plant could be just and effective without these other side effects. So again, the article goes on to say, basically, where you fucking are trapping us and making us buy these pills and take these pills, and magnolia tree extract is equivalent to the pharmaceuticals you produce. So anyway, that's althealthworks.com. What do you think of that? Extract of a magnolia tree, for fuck's sake.
Well, it's been known for centuries that living off the land has always had some kind of remedy or some kind of cure to help a person. I mean, look back in the days of the settlers, you know, when, you know, a lot of people may not know it, but tobacco juice from, you know, tobacco helps stings, you know, from like bumblebees and wasps and stuff like that.
No, I didn't know that. I've never heard
alcohol, that. Yep. Alcohol is basically the same principle.
I you know, they got that well, yeah.
Natural foods and remedies always is supposed to help you make you feel better. Now they got some kind of pill I read the other day on the market that will actually cure cancer. It reverses the effects, and as the more you take it, the better you feel, and the less you have a chance to get cancer, and it can actually cure it and kill it. But, you know, it's all, they spend billions of dollars every year on research and development on stuff that most people already know. If you go back in history, they already know what cures and what doesn't cure just from learning off the land, you know, back from hillbilly days, you know, living out in the woods or the sticks, or even back in the back in the Jerusalem days, or back, when they were when they didn't have all this technology.
Jerusalem days. That's funny. Okay, well, you're like referring to an ancient city as a day. Okay, I got you though. I got you.
The technology. I've been saying this now for 15 years. Technology is going to be the death of this world. I'm telling you.
Okay,
we're on the route. We're heading that way, and it's going to be that way.
Keep it all together, buddy. Keep it all together. Don't get upset. Yeah, here's a 19 whatever commercial. What is this from? 1970s commercial for Fruity Pebbles.
There's new brighter colors in new Fruity Pebbles. But if Barney sees the brighter colors, he'll turn into a fruity monster. Oh, too late. Brighter reds, oranges, yellows. Have some, Barney. New Post-Fruity Pebbles cereal's part of a balanced breakfast. Tastes as fruity as it looks. Now the bright colors are turning me into the fruity monster.
Fruity monster. You fruity monster. Can you do it? All right. So that was fun. But that's not really a story. But again, that's why we do this way. Breaking news badly. WJBWnetworks.com. So I'm gonna. What else do I want to do? Hold on. Was there one more? One more. No. I'm gonna save those. So here's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I appreciate you coming on and doing the news with me. We're going to play a traditional song. I think it's from somewhere Russia area, Croatia. They made a cat song video. So I'm going to let this roll. I'm going to let you get all your plugs out. You plug away during this period. Okay, I'm not going to say anything. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, rock the house. All right, here we go. Hold on. Let's get the cat. There we go. All right, you're on. Go ahead. It's BC Lee.
Well, I have a radio station, WBCWradio.com. You can check us out. Go to our website. We do 3 different shows during the week. Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we do a show called Sitting on the Tailgate. And then Friday afternoon at 12 noon, we do a top 20 countdown with all brand new country artists. We do country, we do classic rock and roll. You can check us out. And then Saturday mornings, we do the Saturday morning Sinkhole Show with me and my co-host Sarah Lee from 10 a.m. till 12. You can get all the links to everything we do at WBCWradio.com.
Fantastic. Remarkable. So the reason why I was so happy you said, hey, yeah, let's do the news is because you are doing something good, man. I listened to your show. You got a lot of great people interacting with you in the comment threads. You've got a good base going. So, man, I was like, wow, I remember when you came over here and you're asking me all kinds of questions and how to do stuff. So, again, big props to you, bro. You've accomplished a lot in a little bit of time, and that's badass.
I learned from the best. What can I say?
Oh, wait. Say that one more time.
I said I learned from the best.
Oh, okay. There you go. Rock the house. Well, hey, buddy, I appreciate you, hanging out with us. No doubt. BC Lee, go check him out. Go follow all those sites. You like country music, this guy's got it. It lays a focus on the shit. He has great interviews. He has great music. Now you're doing this top 20 countdown, and the results are going to be released tomorrow night. Is that right?
Yeah, the first top 20 countdown we'll do tomorrow. That'll be the first show at 12
that's a cool.
noon. We will play the top 20 countdown, the top 20 artists that made the list.
And there was voting. You did a whole voting thing, right?
Yeah, we did a whole voting thing. Oh, yeah, I had a poll and everything. And then it'll start again tomorrow night, and it'll go for another week. So we're going to do the top 20 countdown each week,
nice.
Just like what they would do on mainstream radio or
right.
top 40 radio. Basically the same principle, but we do it with new independent artists, country artists, rock artists, and we do the top 20 every week. So we just keep going, and people keep voting so you can vote every week on the website.
So I truly appreciate it, man. I really do. So listen, take it easy. We're going to wrap things up. I'm going to play what am I going to do here? We're going to play a little more Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson. We got a little Sugar Land Express, and then we're going to go into this song that Bubba did. That's really not like, it doesn't sound like him at all. It sounds really good. And no, oh wow, that sounded horrible. It doesn't sound like what you would expect Bubba to sound like. Do you see what I'm saying? He sounds different than what you would expect.
I had a chance to hang out with him the weekend before when we did an event out there at Cabbage Patch, and he was out there playing with us, so we did a live broadcast out there. So yeah, he's doing real good, and
this song is called
good too, so.
This song is called "Sad Christmas." So we're gonna play that and close things out. I am thankful again for your time, buddy. I appreciate you. All right. And
all right, JB.
I appreciate you. You just broke some news badly with us, first time ever, I think. I don't know. Was it the first? That was the first.
We've done it once or twice before.
No, well, we did the grits and gravy news, which was a little bit different. But anyway, rock the house, my friend. Thank you again for joining us. Again, that's BC Lee, WBCWnetworks.com. And appreciate your time, buddy.
WBCWradio.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's what? Oh, okay.
WBCWradio.com.
Oh, thank you. All right, brother. I appreciate it. All right, take care, and we'll be right back with an ending to this whole kerfuffle, and you will enjoy it. So you got a couple of Mr. Whoop-Ass Wilson tracks coming at you. I am JB Webb at Radio JB Webb on Twitter. You can follow me there, and I might follow you back in my... I do it. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. Okay, so what am I doing? Pressing buttons. Oh, yeah.
Graft macaroni and cheese, delicious skin graft elbow macaroni. We take the leftovers of skin grafts and form them into elbow macaroni looking like pieces, and then mix it with a lovely cheese sauce that's actually fermented body fungus. Graft macaroni and cheese, delicious. You can call it food. It's actually people. Remember, you are what you eat. Graft macaroni and cheese. Graft macaroni and cheese is not a real product.
Well, I used to be alcoholic, drank beer and whiskey like a faucet.
That's the best.
Took pills and snorted stuff too. Whatever you took, I probably took too. Dirty Jim, my savior, didn't approve of my behavior. So now I'm sober, just like him. But every once in a while, I look back with a happy smile, and I want to feel that high once again. Well, here's what I'm doing about that, my friends. Give me a little bass stuff.
Okay.
I hop on the Sugar Land Express to hell with goddamn diabetes. When I feel like a good old coke fix, I get out the mirror and snort a pixie stick. When I need to be awake, I lick the icing off the cake. When I need to have some fun, eat the bottom of a honey bun. When I feel no pain, a Milky Way in the candy cane. When I want to act all funny, I eat a chocolate Easter bunny. Dirty Jim will have to tell Russ to fire me again. When I hop on the Sugar Land Express. feel like a good old cooked pig. I get out the mirror and snort a pixie stick. When I need to be awake, lick the icing off the cake. When I want to have some fun, eat the bottom of a honey bun. When I don't feel no pain, the Milky Way and the candy cane. When I want to act all funny, eat a chocolate Easter bunny. Dirty Jim will have to tell Russ to fire me again. When I hop on the Sugarland Express, beer and a honey bun, you bet.
WJBW.
don't want this. The electronics are so predominant that people would really prefer that.